talent and unheard views in this hugely green community in the United Kingdom, our channel, Ben TV, presents to you another live current us on the program today. My name is Tunde Alabi. It's a pleasure to have you join us on Dialogue in Diaspora. Welcome back from our newsroom. Today on the show, we'll be going to Nigeria basically, and thereafter we'll go to Spain, where we'll be taking a look at immigration issue in Spain. If you're in Spain and you're watching this program, you got to stay on and watch till the end, because after this session, as we discuss Nigeria, we'll be going to Italy. I mean, where we'll be looking at immigration issues. If you are an immigrant in Italy, what are your chances of regularizing your stay, of having your Italian citizenship, of being within, living successful within the Italian community? And we'll be speaking with our special correspondent who is from Italy, Paolo Seriali, will be joining us in the course of the program. So it is important that you stay on and watch the program. If you live in Italy and you're watching this program, you've got family members in Italy, even for those of you in Spain watching this program. This morning, we'll be taking a look at Nigeria. We'll be looking at the uncertainty of governance. Of course, since the advent of the current administration in Nigeria, as they came in on the platform of change in 2015, quite a lot of people have actually said, "I'm going to change from what to what." Prices of goods and services have actually tripled, if not doubled. Cost of living has gone extremely very high. The exchange rate, foreign currency has been on Nigerian currency has been getting a lot of backing from foreign currencies, and things don't seem to be working as planned by the people who came on the board of Mantra, the Mantra change. And so this morning we'll be taking a look at the uncertainty of governance. But more importantly, we'll be taking a look at it on economic side, because my guest in the studio today is an investor, is an entrepreneur. Formerly, he used to be live in this country before he relocated to Nigeria and started his own business, and now doing very, very well. He's running huge investment in Nigeria in the property industry, plus including banking, where he manages, supports people who are looking to get some funding to acquire property in Nigeria. And he will be talking from his experience, Nigeria and diaspora in UK, will move to Nigeria, and now what the state of the Nigeria economy is under the change mantra, and as they affect businesses and investment in Nigeria, and he'll be talking about that. And my other guest that will be joining us, he will be taking a look at it from political perspective. We hope he will join us on time. So. And that's the rundown for the program this morning. We do hope you're going to enjoy your stay with us this beautiful Monday morning. Just grab a cup of tea or coffee and enjoy the program with us. At the appropriate time, we're going to open the phone line for you to be part of the program, and let us discuss what is actually happening in governance in Nigeria. What has caused the uncertainty in governance or in government? Why is it quite a lot of times what they tell us is not what we received? Is it the system? Is it the structure? Is it the people? What is it that is wrong? That sometimes people may have very good intention, but the outcome is not always what they bear. All right, my guest today on the show is Edward Akinlade. Edward Akinlade is the chair and CEO of Suru Group. Many of you must have been hearing of Suru Group. Suru Group is a multi-million property investment company in Nigeria with partnership with key institutions across Europe and helping people acquire property in Nigeria. Mr. Akinlade, thank you for joining us on the program today. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
The uncertainty of governance. Quickly tell us, you as an investor, you as a businessman, you as an entrepreneur, how does changes in government policies and government affect business?
Well, I think one has to recognize the environment in which we operate in Nigeria. if you ignore government in everything you do, you will pay the price. So you must recognize them. It's like one of the environments in which any business operates is to understand your competitors. Government is your competitor in Nigeria. So you must, well, I would say network with them, deal with them, understand their thinking, and then that will help whatever business decision you want to make. It's not good for you to go and establish a business and the governor or the president has a policy basically to close such a business down. So you must always understand that. So you leave government policy alone. In Nigeria, your business is on a downward trend.
That sounds very alarming. Government as a competitor, but is that peculiar to Nigeria? One would imagine that the role of government is to facilitate. Government should rather be a facilitator, creating the platform, creating the enabling environment, not competing with investors.
Well, in my own industry, for example, in property development in Lagos, the state government is also building to sell. So when I said they are competitors, But government war all over is not supposed to be that. Government is supposed to create an environment for us in the private sector to invest, SME to invest, and then the country will grow. There is no country in this world that will ignore SME and expect GDP to grow, or they're being recognized for being a good governance nation. So it's very, very important. One of the things I've always said to Lagos State government is they have no business in building to sell. Their business should be building to rent, just like as we have as an association or council here in the UK. Now, the housing association are also building here to sell, but they're using shared ownership as a way of accessing that. So we can say that we are doing something, social housing, you are trying to buy, so let's try and partners. But what we found in our country is government using government money to develop and buy and sell for profits. It's not supposed to be so. Government has no business in business. That's my own belief. But there are some exceptions to that, which is where you find out that the capital that is required in that business is only government that can provide it. Then yes, government should be in such business, but it's only for a short time. After setting it up, government should sell and move on. That is our belief. But the enabling environment thing in Nigeria is improving since the APC came into power. I'm not an APC member, no, PDP member. But so I will tell you the truth. I've said it all. I mean, I arrived in Nigeria just immediately after Obasanjo stepped down and Yar'Adua took. So I have seen a lot of cycle in what has been taking place in our country. It's been encouraging since the APC come into power as compared to APC. Liquidity has dried up, mainly because of the Jonathan easy flow of money. I'm not going to use the word corruption. I'm not an expert in that, so don't bring me into that.
I was just about asking you. You've seen it all from the days. I mean, you just said from the time you arrived, shortly after Baba Obasanjo's tenure in office. I mean, you spoke about SME. That no government, no nation would develop without the SME. And we look at the rise of the middle class in the Jonathan era, or say from Yar'Adua era up to the early 2015, and now from mid-2015 when this administration came into power. How would you compare the growth of SME and the middle class then and now? What is the difference?
Yes, I will say to you, what distinguishes between now and then is easy money. That is the difference between the two.
What do you mean easy money?
When I say easy money, going to your bank, being able to borrow, corruption money going around. You know, if you go to Abuja and you're able to get some government contract, what they normally do is that they'll give you money up front. And then you come back to your state, you do whatever you want to do. Nobody is monitoring, nobody is making sure it's happening. That is the key there. Now, since the APC came into power, that has really, really fallen on what I call a downward trend. You can't go to Abuja and access such money again. The APC, however, did bad for SME in Nigeria, and that is still going on. What they have done is that they've gone to Nigerian bank, borrow Nigerian bank money silly.
APC government.
APC government. What they have done, they've gone to all banks in Nigeria. If you go to them today, you will not get any money for any business. Why? The management of all those banks have basically used public money that has been deposited in those banks in buying federal government bond for easy return. Basically, if you are a bank MD today, rather than for you to borrow money to any SME and be worried about collecting your money, interest and all that, risk management, just go and buy federal government bond, collect 17% upfront, go to sleep, and then pay the depositor maybe 5-6%. That is a deliberate government policy that I do not like. But as I'm speaking to you today, good news is here, because the APC government has basically reversed itself now and says we will be going into the international market to now borrow and pay down all the local banks. So the local banks will be forced going forward to now start lending to SMEs. Now, no SME, nobody has 100% money for any business. You need to borrow to do business. That is how it's done worldwide. Even if you are the richest man, the Bill Gates, the Warren Buffett of today, still borrow money. So it's not...
So that's a problem in the Nigerian system now,
Yes.
where the money is not there to be borrowed because banks have used the money to buy bonds from government.
Well, yes, and like I said, remember for a long time, the World Bank has been warning Nigeria. It is what is called the clouding out effect, i.e., if the federal government borrow and borrow and borrow, that is what has been happening since 2015. Borrow, 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 but local borrowing. Go to the international community. You have oil. Use oil as a pledge for future repayments, i.e., if you have dollar inflow, you can have dollar debt. But borrowing from within the Nigerian economy, Nigerian banks, people like us, I am borrowing, I would say I am borrowing at VAS. I can borrow 1 trillion naira today, so long as I can see it in the property. Are you following me? So long as it's in the property, I don't have a problem. The day I can't pay, come to me, I will give you the property, you go away. So I have that belief. But if I cannot borrow, how will I be able to build? How will I be able to expand my hotel business? How will I be able to employ people? So you have that cycle that is supposed to expand and expand and expand. It's a stop now. But, like I said, I have good news. The good news is the federal government has just made a decision in the last 1 week that through the minister that they're going to be borrowing.
That Minister of Finance?
Minister of Kemi Adeosun, that they're going to be borrowing externally to replace all those local debts, and then Nigerian bank will be forced. Now, the effect of this also is that the World Bank report just came out, ease of doing business in Nigeria, and it's a very shocking report. Taking into consideration what Femi Adeosun says, Nigeria is ranked 145 now out of 190 nations on the ease of doing business index by the World Bank. So the website is easeofdoingbusiness.com is there. And then Nigeria is ranked 145 among all 190 nations. But the good news is if you now look at the ranking of Nigeria in ease of accessing credit, Nigeria is number 6.
Okay, let me tell this call. We're going to look at this very well.
Okay.
The ease of doing business, we are 145. The ease of accessing credit, Nigeria number 6.
Number 6.
We look at this. We look at the implication for the Nigerian community and for the Nigerian government. Okay. Let me take this call. Ade, good morning, Ade. Thank you for joining us this very early morning on the show. Good morning, Ade. And thank you for hanging on there.
No problem, sir.
Go ahead and make your point.
Your guest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree with your guest there. It's not that those that don't want this government and those that don't want this government to succeed are the one castigating this government that nothing is happening. But today it is clearing that things are happening. But the problem is that I still blame it on this government because the people that are supposed to disseminate the information to Nigerian people are not doing what they're supposed to do. And those that tell lies online, the propagandists and the rest, stories said, and everybody talk about, nothing is working. I live in the north, and I'm opportune to know people that are in the corridor of power. All my life in the north, I school there, and I know them. So technically, I'm from the north. So I'm opportune to know people from military to civilian that govern Nigeria. Like your caller said from a few minutes ago, that the money that was going around then was corruption money. I have a neighbor of mine. He's a civil servant. The kind of money this guy was spending, was using, was beyond recognition. Now, when this government came, this individual, this civil servant, went flat, zero. Then you ask, why is it that he's struggling now? Because where he was getting free money has been blocked. This is not Biafalo gist or online. It's my neighbor, the third house to my own house, a top civil servant. I will not name the ministry. The ministry is engulfed in corruption, massive corruption. Well, although I can't even name it because I know it's not listening to Ben Television. NNPC, one of the top men in NNPC. So what I'm trying to say is this. Some months back, some weeks back, you have a guest, the night post, what is it called?
The night post, Postmaster General.
Postmaster General told you that when it came to that post, the money that is being remitted is about 2 billion. Then you ask him more than 3 times, how much have you remitted? He said 8 billion. Then and it's 8 months, he said he was there. Then you ask yourself, where is the 6 billion gone? We know what happened in Nimasa. How many billion? We know the customer general during the last previous administration at Tapia. What I'm trying to say now, to cut the story short, not to take your time, is that the reason why we are progressing is that the money people are stealing is not there. They blocked the case. That's why we are progressing. That's why we are getting better.
Ade, but even this government is not 100% free from corruption.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Don't forget, during this election, before the election, we said that it's Buhari we trust. But those around him, we go and check your video. We say it on this program.
All right. Okay, Ade, let me let you go for now, at least for now. Thank you for joining us on the program. Keep watching the program, Ade. All right, so let's get back to it. So the ease of doing business and the ease of accessing credit, what difference does it make? Take us through it.
Well, it's a positive report for the APC government that they're doing something positively. For
ease of doing business, we are 145. Is that positive?
Well, it's not positive, but you can then aim that by next year we will get to 130. The following year we can get to 120. The following year we can get to 100. It's a positive trend. I'm saying we'll have a base now, and then we can work at it. But
that was a downward trend from the Jonathan era.
Yes.
We were on a higher ladder. In fact, in Africa, we were number 1.
Well, yes and no at the same time. The yes is, like I said, if you have easy money going around, people will feel that it's easy to do business. So once that money dried up, the reverse will come. So that is the yes. The no is that in those instances, corruption was everywhere. It's only a novice or somebody who's digging his head into the sand that will say otherwise. We all see, you enter any government offices, things that are supposed to happen within a day, that file will disappear. And then it is you being able to do something through networking that the file will appear again. Corruption has
Through networking.
Yes, through networking. Corruption has dug into our country big time. It's in our blood. For it to go away, it needs the ruling intervention. That is the extreme I will go. It's our culture. You go to the airport. I was coming from Lagos on Saturday. Immigration, custom, everybody. Oga, you're looking good. Do weekend for us. Now, if I dig in, I might dig in more. That will be delay upon delay. I'm supposed to be enjoying myself in lounge. So I dig into my pocket and give them 500 naira. Then I pass. Now, I recognize what I'm doing is I'm encouraging corruption. But hold on, I want to go. I don't want to be here arguing and arguing and arguing and arguing. This is the issue we face. The federal government has been in Lagos so many times through that airport, so many times anti-corruption campaign, yet they still continue to do it because it is our culture. For me, I am not ready to fight corruption. God has not sent me to Nigeria to fight corruption. That is Abuja. But so the thing, what I do is I just want to go on my way. So here's 500. God bless you. Baba will remain in power. I will say, yes, thank you very much, and I go. So this is what we find ourselves. Go into any government office in Lagos or in Abuja today. If you are not ready to provide a network arrangement, you're not going to get it done. Reality.
But let's come down to it. Do we blame these guys? Do we blame the civil servants? Those poor boys. I'm not talking about civil servants who have some kind of authority from directorates. Those small boys who are doing the paperwork, who are on 18,000 naira per month, minimum pay. Probably they take home pay 40,000. What? And they've got 4 children. They've got family. They've got bills to pay. What will an average Nigerian do with 40,000 naira now? We just have less than £100 per month. And there's no government support, no welfare package. You want a man with family, 4 children to live on £100 a month. Would you blame them if they say, "Oga, happy weekend for us now. You are going abroad"?
Well, I cannot. Minimum wages in Nigeria is just can't do anything. It cannot even pay their cost of transport to work and back.
You're a businessman.
Yes.
What you pay even your gate man? Your gate man. In
my company, I have a minimum wage of 30,000 naira. The government is well, they're discussing a minimum wage of 40,000 naira. But that is not that's not the issue. The issue is working on what I would call the cost of standard of living in Nigeria. If, for example, FX rate is brought down, say 150 to the pound, for example, or to the dollar.
Is it the government's role to bring it down, or the force of the market?
Yeah, well, both. If the cost of funding, cost of living in Lagos or in Nigeria comes down, 15,000, 18,000, 30,000 will go a long way. Let me give you an example. If I need to spend a lot of money to bring in food into a market, and then say that food is coming from, say, Republic of Benin. I'll give an example. Pineapple. Most of our pineapple in Lagos come from there. But you need to change that via FX to get to the CFA, Central African francs. Now, if the exchange rate is worked out to bring it down, by the time that thing gets to Lagos, you can see what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Your 15,000, 20,000 naira will buy a lot of pineapple. That is where, remember also, I have the evidence, I still have the evidence. During the election, the APC promised us $1 to 1 naira. If you have not seen it, I have it.
They've reported that. They said they never did.
No, I have a banner to that effect. Except that Buhari, well, not Buhari, I can't quote him, Femi Adesina says that it was not a Buhari commitment. It was APC externally all over Nigeria making that. I have one issue with it. If 1 naira become $1, Aliko Dangote will be richer than the United States. Because if Aliko Dangote is worth, say, 3 trillion naira today, it means that Aliko Dangote will be worth $3 trillion. So you can see the challenge. It is not possible. It is unrealistic. We do not have assets in Nigeria that will back that up. Any economist who does this calculation will know that can never happen. But 150, 100, yes, it can happen. We know how much crude we have in Nigeria. We can use it to raise money to fund infrastructure. I'm not against raising money to borrowing money. What I against is for the federal government to be borrowing money to pay salary. I hate it with passion because it doesn't make sense. If you want to reduce the number of civil servants today, reduce it so that we can start having more money for capital projects rather than you spending that money to pay salary. Well, why have people around just to collect salary? To do what? No productivity. In fact, if I have my way, no work will be done in Nigeria on Friday. So Nigerian government can save more money for one day. In the Gambia, Friday is a public holiday. In Nigeria, go to any office and try and do something on Friday. Once it's 11, 12, you know what you hear. We are going for prayer. The Christian join. The Babalawo member also join. So nothing is done. So what I'm trying to say is that these are ways of saving money to get that recurring expenditure down from 70% to maybe 40, maybe 50. Set a target. So these are issues that we face in our country that the APC, like I said, I'm giving them positive. I'm crediting them. They're working at it.
What, on average, maybe because you are somehow above the middle class, an average man in Nigeria below the middle class will not look back to say, I'm giving the APC any credit for anything, because he said, look, the guy that I used to buy 100 naira 3 years ago now cost me 500 naira. What positive am I giving him? You just said it, the cost of borrowing in Nigeria has gone astronomically high. You can't even get the money to borrow in the first instance.
There's no doubt about it. What I am saying is this: the APC underestimates the issues before they took over. They took over, they now start saying, everybody can make a promise. The Labour Party or the Conservative Party here will make so much promise during the election. When they get there, what they will meet, the reality will dawn on them. But then, don't let us start talking about Jonathan PDP, please. Let's see what is on ground. 2 years, they have seen what is on ground. It is only now that a plan, for example, we have a plan now taking us to 2020 that will then deliver based on what we saw.
If there's a successive government, if a government comes in to continue from where this government is probably going to stop. And don't forget, in the Nigerian governance strategy or government system, there's no continuity. Even if another APC government comes to power, it's probably going to start his own idea.
Well, that is true. And that is why I am one of those people who are saying, I want Baba to do a second term. I'm sorry to say that. I want Buhari to do a second term so we can see him over a period of 8 years. God gave him good health. I believe that as somebody who believes in Jesus Christ, is our leader, we must support him to deliver. I want him to do 8 years. Now, and on that note, I will now take you to Lagos State, and I will tell you what I have seen. The APC government in Lagos State, under Ambode, is an APC government. So it should continue what Fashola has done. I am vexed, very vexed, that all the housing project of Fashola has been abandoned since he has been in power. And he has started doing his own thing. Now, for me in the housing market, I will say, no, I don't agree. Finish those so that you can then start new projects. No, it's been abandoned. But he's doing well in one direction. I learned over the weekend that he has started seizing assets of former commissioners in Lagos. That, hold on, where will a commissioner get money to buy a house in Ikeja GRA, in Ikoyi, in VI. How is this possible? He has started, and I'm sure it's been reported recently. So Ambode is doing well, but that continuity, sorry, sir, I do not agree. You are not doing that. And also, if you make me the governor of Lagos State tomorrow, what will I do? Will I abandon what Ambode is doing and start on my own project? If my agenda is different, yes. But continuity is very, very important.
How key is that to businesses, to people like you, to entrepreneurs like you? Government, continuity in policy formulation and delivery. That's the question. But let me tell this call. I've got Tony on the line. Good morning, Tony. Thank you for joining us this early morning. Good morning, Tony. Tony, good morning. Tony, good morning. Do I have Tony on the line? Oh, Tony, I apologize. If you're still watching the program, you may call back. How important is a policy for you? You probably want President Muhammadu Buhari to continue because you want the continuity, the program you want. You probably businesses like you want to see through his agenda, because you're not sure if another government comes in, they won't scatter the whole thing and start their own program. But how important is continuity to entrepreneurs and investors?
It's very, very important because it lets you make investment decisions that you know that you can carry through. If I go and buy a land today, I know what the government policy is today. That government policy will shape that development I need to do. If I'm buying an hotel today, that government policy will shape it. Now, if in 2 years' time, a new APC president comes and says, sorry, the tax you're going to pay on your development, I'm doubling it now because I need more revenue to do this and that. That is a huge wahala. Now, I'll give you one example in Lagos. And some 2 years ago, a friend of mine came and said, okay, I need to buy a property in Jibowu, Lagos for his motor park. He does Lagos to Owerri, Lagos to Aba, Lagos to all that. So we found him a property to buy. So he bought this property. And he's been running his motor park there. So he has various bosses there. Not long ago, 2-3 months ago, well, no, probably about a month ago, the Lagos State government announced that those buses will not get to Jibowu again, that the last place they will stop is Ojota. Now, tell me about this man investment. I know for a fact that guy invested over 300 million in that spot. Now, the Lagos State government says that there's too much traffic, too much crowding in Jibowu because they are all concentrated in one place. A good government policy will have worked with those guys, moved them to another location over what? Period of time. It was done within 1 month. Get out. That is government policy that kills businesses. So, therefore, when you're running a business in Nigeria, make sure whatever decision you want to do is a short-term business. For example, most investment I want to do now in real estate, I want to finish it before the election. Because I don't know what will happen on the other side. I'm not a politician. And that's why I keep on saying to you that they are like a competitor to me. You ignore them, you're on your own. But the good news that I've said, once they exchange that local funding for foreign funding, Nigerian Bank will be forced to help people like us out and says, Edward, come and take some money. What do you want to do? Tell us what you want to do. How are you going to pay us back? We can do that. The Nigerian Stock Exchange will also boom because money will now flow back into people's pockets through their own businesses to invest. So everybody is a win-win situation. But the federal government is saying it has taken them 2 years to understand
that situation.
Yes,
2 years to understand that situation. I've got Taiwo on the line. Good morning, Taiwo. Thank you for joining us on the program today. Taiwo? Taiwo?
Yes?
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Taiwo. Thank you for staying on. Good morning.
Yeah. Morning.
Where are you calling from?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Where are you calling from?
Hello, good morning.
I can hear you. Good morning.
Yeah. I'm calling from Ireland.
From Ireland. Thank you so much. Go ahead
From
and make
Ireland.
your point. Go on.
From Highland.
Go on.
I'm calling from Ireland. Okay, yeah. Your guest is not talking about the double or trillion taxation in Nigeria that is affecting business.
We're probably going to get to the issue of taxes, multiple taxes. I think that is part of the government policies we're talking about. Government coming up with multiple taxes, changes in government policy, and how they affect business. All right, Taiwo, please, can you turn down the volume of your TV set? Thank you for that question. We'll get back to that. Thank you. Taiwo is of the concern about multiple taxes. How does that flow go into policy?
Well, I can only talk about the area in which I operate, Lagos State.
Yeah, Lagos State. Let's stay on. Lagos State is key to almost most businesses.
Yes, because obviously if you succeed there, you can succeed anywhere in the whole of Nigeria. Now, we as a member of a trader of a owners association, the Hotel Owners Association of Nigeria, fought Fashola to a standstill. We don't know where Ambode is going on this at the moment. But as an hotel owner in Lagos, there is double killing taxation. We pay to Lagos State government, we pay to Abuja on the same thing going round and round and round, which is a killer to businesses. I'll give you one example. When you stay in our hotel, we charge you VAT, which Abuja collects and charge and refund back to Lagos State. So it's distributed all over Nigeria. Are you following that? Then Lagos State government wake up one day, made a law, and call it consumption tax. So we'll charge you consumption tax again. So you pay 5% VAT, you pay 5% consumption tax on hotel room. Now, we are supposed to recoup that from the rent, from the rate we are charging you for the each of the night you are staying. So it's double taxation. Now, Lagos State keep that 5%. The 5% goes to Abuja on VAT.
They still take part of it.
Yes, when it gets to Abuja, they now redistribute it back to Lagos State. And that is why Lagos State, thank you very much, is the Yoruba people call it Iluaje, money galore. That is why IGR in Lagos is huge. Thank to Tinubu, who by wisdom, created source of making money. But Lagos State government needs to put a stop to all of this. It's getting too much. In my hotel in Lagos, I pay consumption tax, I pay VAT, I pay environmental tax, I pay land use charge, I pay local government tax in what you call radio, alcohol. I can go on and on and on tax we pay. What is left for the owner? It's unbelievable. But thank God, Abuja has set up a scheme now where they're saying it's a one-stop shop where all the taxes you are paying, we will tell you, we will work at it with you. If we need to give you some incentive, we will give you some incentive so that let your business grow before we come and hit you with all of these taxes. But unfortunately, in Lagos State government is aggressive. They will collect their money, but also we can see where they're using the money in what we are saying in terms of.
But is it about where the government puts the money, or is it about if businesses like you have not been on the job, on the business for some time, if you have not got some financial shock absorber, somebody just comes in from UK with £500 million, wants to set up business in Nigeria, and then get hit by this multiple taxation that ought to be just one distributed. How does it survive? How does it pay back his loan? What does it work through the system?
Well, this is where you need to do your research. You need to sit down. You need to understand the Nigerian environment, and says that if you're coming to Nigeria to spend £500 million, only spend 300 million, and the remaining 200
keep
put
in
it to
UK.
one side.
Not in Nigerian bank, it could depreciate.
Yes, put it in one side, in the UK particularly. So whatever happened, you have a cushion to come and fall. Don't come and spend that 500 million in a go in Nigeria. That business will fail. Unfortunately, it will fail because expenses that it does not account for within that 500 million will start showing itself. it's the nature of our country. Even the foreign nationals, the foreign businesses, when they get to Nigeria, they quickly recognize it and amend their business plan accordingly. Nothing happens in Nigeria the way you plan it. It's either the system works against you or an individual works against you. You set up an hotel, somebody tomorrow will come and put up another one next to you. To do that in the UK, how is he going to get the planning permission? He will have to go through a rigorous process. Sorry, in Nigeria, we don't go through such a process. It's a government thing. They don't need to consult residents before another person open an hotel next door. So you have just invested 1 billion and somebody come and put a gigantic hotel next to you worth 20 billion. What has it done to your business? Killed it. It's the environment we work, and that is what one has to understand. It is not the clear position. One of the things I always tell my friends anytime they want to come back to Lagos is that if you take an average staff in Nigeria, here, I have a number of investment here. If you take that staff, you start looking at that staff from a point of view and saying, you are honest, my Mr. James. You will have to prove yourself dishonest. That is how you look at a staff in Nigeria, in the UK.
In the UK.
When you get to Nigeria, the reverse is the case.
You are dishonest.
You are dishonest, Mr. James. You will now need to prove yourself honest. So you need to understand those two markets. If you don't understand those two, if you arrive in Nigeria and think that every staff you see is honest, that business will collapse. They will steal your money. They will defraud you. They will sell you. They will sell your business. They will use your business to access funding while you are sitting there. And then they will take the money, they will disappear, and then the bank will come and take over your business. I have seen it all in the last 10 years in Nigeria. But at the same time, I'm a man of prayer. We have to pray to understand.
How much does prayer work in business? Come down to it.
Well, reality, when you are in Christ, everything is prayer, whatever you want to do. But I also believe it is prayer and grace, prayer and faith. There's no need for me to pray, God, come and bless me, come and bless me. And yes, I refuse to wake up in the morning to go to work. Is God going to bring the blessing to meet you in the house? He can do it, but you need to show some. So, for whatever you want to do in Nigeria, if God says to anybody, go to Nigeria, return to Nigeria, go and pray about it. Go and find a man of God who understands all these things. Not every one of them. God, can I go to Nigeria? Am I going to be successful? Make sure that that is a true man of God. If he says to you, go, I tell you, you will face the Goliath on the way. But as you know, David always wins. It's an assurance that you go anywhere. So that words of God can push you towards success in Nigeria.
All right. Typical of every Nigerian, very religious and very strong in faith. Unlike an investor, a businessman coming in from Europe or America, his faith is in his business and his business plan. And they don't fail him many a times. But Nigerians, religion and faith put together in our business, and sometimes they don't work.
It is true. You can have a beautiful business plan. I have seen it all. I know of a man who woke up from America, got a business plan to introduce a new MTN, a new Glo, a new of the lot, and took it to Nigeria. Beautiful plan. And they told him, Oga, you are speaking grammar here. Sorry, we can't fund this. And as the man walked out of that bank, that business plan is now a running business in Nigeria.
Wow.
That is where God works.
So
because
the business plan was practically stolen from him.
Yes. And he went back to Nigeria, to the US. True story. 100%. And it's not something I want to discuss.
Somebody is now running with that business plan.
The business is flourishing in Nigeria. Flourishing. So, but what I'm saying to you is that with God.
No, take God out of this. That is
no,
fraud.
No, let me explain. It is fraud if the man now wants to come to Nigeria and start litigation. That litigation within our legal framework will take 20 years to get to the Supreme Court. The man who is using his business plan will be enjoying in the meantime. Who knows, even before 20 years, they're all dead. I am saying that with God on your side, it will have woke you up a night before going to that bank. My son, don't go to that bank. They will steal what I've asked you to come and do. So that is how God works in some of these instances. But like I said, it's more, I would say 90% works, business plan, and 20% grace when it comes to Nigeria. You need to work at it. Be attentive to your staff. Be making sure your staff doesn't derail this plan. Because staff will derail it in whatever means. That 30,000 naira, that 18,000 naira is not enough. I have seen a staff who has been working in my hotel for 3 years as our purchasing manager. The day we moved her to another job, desk job, just posting voucher, she resigned, and then she came and said, I just realized that your salary can't cover my transport. What she's been doing for years is she's been inflating contracts as a purchasing officer. So you must work at it. You must block all loophole. I have investment in the UK. I'm in Nigeria. I have not been here since March. I see my money being paid into my bank account. You understand? I don't need to be there. The staff are motivated. They see what they need to do. If I sit away from Nigeria for 6 months, that business will be dead by the time I come back to Nigeria. It's reality.
All right. I mean, you keep saying good news, but I don't know if my viewers are saying good news from what we're talking about. From you taking your business plan to Nigeria, and you'd go to a bank, a corporate institution, and they steal your business plan. Moving on from there, you get a successful business plan for them, and then you start working with some staff who probably is your purchasing manager, living on some minimum wage. Then you move the purchasing manager to another desk. Then suddenly wakes up after that, says, excuse me, I've just found out that I cannot cope because obviously on that initial desk it was inflating your contract. Let's go on a short break now. We will know maybe this is actually good news or not. We'll come back. Don't go away. As part of our continued efforts to reach the African and other ethnic communities in the United Kingdom with greater impacts and create the platform to hear your silent and unheard views in this hugely growing community in the United Kingdom, our channel, Ben TV, presents to you another live current affairs television program. Our focus on the program is to review and discuss issues around the diaspora community in the UK. The program offers you that unrestricted voice on issues affecting you in the UK. Join us live every Monday at 10 a.m. to 12 noon.